Peace. Stream is live. Peace, 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 everybody. Maurice Carney here with Friends of the Congo, and have our brother Akilimali Chomahoma. It's been a minute since we've been in communication with you. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Good, excellent.
Quite everything is okay.
Good to have you back. For those who tune into our live sessions, we often get updates from the front lines from Akilimali, remarkable Congolese journalist who not only covers what's happening in the front lines of the conflict in the east of the Congo, in the displacement camps and around Goma and in the Kivus, but really throughout the country. He and collection of journalists that provide us with reliable information coming directly from the ground is invaluable. So we're glad to have you here today with us to basically Akilimali give a end of year wrap. How things have unfolded in the country, in 2024, and we'd like to hear from you. What do you think some of the big issues are that people ought to know? Those of us who are concerned about what's happening in the Congo and organizing, mobilizing around the Congo. So share with us just what's going on with you and some of your thoughts.
Okay. I will begin with the Basanja coalition because it's an important movement which were now in activities and they were working themselves in their local organization for their local engagement, and now they are changing the narrative by collective activities and collective point of view about what is going on with local perspective. And this is the important thing. I can say this is the great news of the year from the local engagement here in DRC on civilian society level, but we have also some situation because for this year we had a big number of people which were putting out of their villages, and they are in turn displaced people, and this is one of the difficult thing, and this is one of the difficult crises which really happened this year, and which really, and it not only in Goma, we have some in Goma here, the biggest number for sure, but we have also others in other area like Butembo, like Lubero, like we have others in South Kivu. We have the second big number right now is recording in Ituri because the war with the Codeco and other local movements are putting the situation very bad, and are putting thousands of people and families to fly their homes to looking for an area where they will get peace. This is also an important situation. On political area, we have the first year of the second mandate of Felix Tshisekedi, the presidents which were elected at the end of last year, and get in power officially. The ceremony were in January this year, and from January we have a lot of things he said, and finally he didn't. And at the end, this is the introduction. I will say it probably at the end, but this is the introduction. He introduced the next year on the political area with the idea of building a new constitution for DRC and
Changing the constitution,
people,
eh?
yes, changing the constitution, and this is really bad from many civilian society actors, even from many members of the community, because changing the constitution, changing some article, it means to review the constitution is one thing, and to change the constitution will give him the possibility to be the president for we don't know when. So this is
Opens up the door for a constitutional coup, so to speak.
exactly.
Well, we've
So
seen how
this
those
is
have ended up in different parts of Africa, so that may not be a door that he want to open.
okay. So this is one of the difficult situation. We have also so many things. Right now, I am in Kinshasa, and last time when I were here, the president lived here and went to Lobito, also an economic important information, and they met the President Joe Biden, the U.S. President Joe Biden, and they are saying that they will build a kind of railway for a train, and they will build something from Congo, which cross Zambia and Angola, finally to finish in a town they call it Lobito in Angola, and this is also another I can say another important information on the mine actors. We have also the changing of the Chinese contract here in DRC, and Chinese finally the administration of Kinshasa finally got around six around six 6 billion of infrastructure, but we hope that it will help on that way, because so many money on infrastructure is using on the wrong way, and using to put corruption and to put so many things. This is, I can say, generally this is the main so main information, because in Congo there is so many things. I couldn't forget the war of the M23, supported by Rwanda, which is killing so many people, and which is putting so many person in a bad situation, with the negotiation of first of all in Nairobi last year, and from this year, from the beginning, we have they call it a process of Angola, which is not really giving the solution to Congolese people, because Congolese people are expecting the withdrawal of Rwanda troop, and this it's not happened until now, and people are still waiting in IDP's camp and others in other bad and a very bad situation. But this is what is really going on. I can say generally we have so many news.
No, you hit some. Let's take one each at a time. Now, you talked about the local movement with the Basanja Coalition, and you've had a chance to visit the coalition in different parts of the country. You're in Kinshasa with Samuel, and you were with Passy in Kinshasa. You had a chance to go to the mining areas with Dr. Constant,
Constant.
and the community there. I don't know if you made it to Lumata, but I think you were in Lubumbashi. I don't know if you had a chance to go to Lumata, but
No, not yet.
okay, so you've had a chance
Not
to
yet, but
visit.
I did some great interview with
Mhm.
people of Lumata when I were in Lubumbashi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you published it yet, but
Not yet, not yet.
it's
You know, Akilimali, we
it's
have
very
so much. I know. I can't tell you. We have so much content because we're talking about content coming from the west in Kinshasa, content coming from the north out of Chopo and the Isangi district, content coming from the south, you know, Lumata, Lubumbashi,
yes,
Kolwezi, in the mining areas, and then just like a ton of content from the east, right? In from the displacement camps and all. So, you know, we haven't had a chance to get all of it out and just share with people the amazing work that's being done locally. So, you know, when folks, you know, we posted Congo is changing, they're like, you know, how's Congo changing?
exactly.
Right? Just basically highlights that we're going to get at. You know, like for example, the industrial well that was built in Lumata that's serving up to 20,000 people of Lumata by Dr. Constant and his crew there with Committee Afro-European. That's helping the maternity clinic there. That's helping small businesses there. Just the incredible organizing that's taking place in Kinshasa with on the cultural front with Brother Passy, and then of course, you know, Samuel and Gova in the rainforest in Chopo and Isangi district. They're just doing incredible work. You know, taking medicine and medical equipment, low in dozen villages. They're serving thousands of people. And then when they get them to the villages, they have to rent a tractor from local, you know, timber companies so that they can deliver the medicine. And some of the, as you know, some of the roads are really bad and the
Yes,
bridges. So they're even building
yes.
their own bridges as they're delivering. So, you know, and they're documenting all of it, but it's really difficult to get it all out. Kwajo will tell you, it's like, uh, you know, it's kind of interesting, Kilimali. I see some of the stuff coming out on Instagram, and I'm like, how do these people get this stuff out? Because it's a full-time job just to be telling the story, you know. So you're not going to see Dr. Constant on here much, or you're not going to see Samuel much. As, you know, thank him so much for coming on when he does. You're not going to see Dr. Nelly or, you know, our sister Leonce, and then because they're organizing. You know, they really don't have time to be on social media because they're in the community doing the work, and the kind of work that they do doesn't really lend itself to, you know, the reality TV social media where you're showing the camera and seeing this is, you know, we're building a well, we're building a, it just doesn't lend itself to that. That's not so that's why, you know, we have to try and fill the gap for them, and whatever they send to us, we do our best to get it out and really to tell that story. That's why I'm so grateful for you for going and documenting all of this. You know, grateful to you for documenting all of this at the different from the different parts of the country which you travel, and that's part of the reason why we have you on. And you've been ill, so we haven't had you on as much. I'm glad to see you're doing better, so you can actually tell the story from the bottom up. It's because you're there, you're seeing what's happening, and the Basanja Coalition is doing remarkable work. They're growing, they're expanding, and they don't have time to be on social media. You know, in fact,
Exactly.
we're going to be profiling some of the groups that the Basanja Coalition support, and the work that they're doing, you know, in Bolengo, Rosario, Cunyarachina, all those displacement camps, and share because they're not on social media. You know, some of the best work that's being done by local organizations, they're not on social media to tell that story, so people don't know about it. So we're going to profile a number of them, including the profiles that you've done. That's one of the pieces that you've done. You say, well, you know, really the folks who are providing the greatest support to the displaced communities are Congolese on the front lines. You know, they don't have a camera with them, they don't have video with them, but you have nurses and you have doctors, you have teachers. We're working with shoemakers, the cobblers who are teaching children how to make shoes. So they're not doing this thing with a camera in tow. So what we're going to do is our best to try and highlight that and share that with everybody else. That's part of our role. You know, we have access to a platform, and as you rightly asked, you know, what's up with all that media that I sent you? It's not easy. It's not easy. It's a full-time job just to tell the story of a coalition that covers 10% of the country, reaching 2 million people. They're located in the north, south, east, and west of the Congo. And if you know anything about the Congo, it's the size of Western Europe, you know, with less infrastructure than New York City, really, you know, in terms of roads. If you want to get from one part of the Congo to the next, you have to fly. You know, you're not going to get on a bus. You're not going to get on a train. Unless you get on a train that's taking the copper out through Angola, you may want to hitch a ride there. But other than that, it's happening. So just thank you for the work you're doing around that, and we will get the content out. Kwajo is determined to get as much of it out between now and the end of the year, so people can see the remarkable impact that their donations, their contributions are having, and the regenerative nature of their donation. Because these frontline organizations it's not a humanitarian aid undertaking. They're really it's an empowerment undertaking. They're taking that money, multiplying it, and providing, you know, assistance at the same time. So let's talk a little bit about I don't think, especially on social media, aware of Akilimali, that in addition to the Rwanda and to some extent Uganda's incursion in the Congo, you know, especially in Ituri, you have other conflicts that are taking place as well that are resulting in displacement. Maybe you can give us you know, just a general overview, because without getting too deep into it, because people don't know who Codeco is, they don't know who ADF is. So maybe just basically share, you know, what's happening in Ituri, what's happening in Beni, Lubero, you know, just to give people a sense of the Eastern Congo and information around the conflicts within conflicts, so to speak.
Thank you so much. This is one of the complicated questions to answer, because it's very, very complex. But what I can say, let me begin by Ituri in the north, is that we have so many groups, and the first one is the Codeco, which is a group of so many Lendu, and they are working in that area, and they are against other people, and they are against also the government, and they are operating in territory of Jugu. They are operating also in territory of Mahagi, and others in territory of Mombasa. They killing a lot of people and putting so many people. The last killing were last time in Draw, and they killed for 1 day at the beginning of this year. They killed for 1 day. They killed around 50 people because those people were supposed to help another ethnic group, which is Zaire. It means it's local group in Ituri which are not controlling, which are controlling many area, because the failure of the Congolese army and also of the MONUSCO to protect civilian and to control all those areas, and it's like a no man's land area, and where you have some area like these villages is controlling by the Congolese army. The next one will be controlling by the MONUSCO, for example, like
that's a UN mission. That's the UN mission in the Congo.
Yes, the UN mission in the Congo.
UN peacekeeping mission, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And we have also another one which will be controlling by Codeco, another one which will be controlling by Zaire, another one which will be controlling in the same territory. And this is making the situation to be more worse and more dangerous. And so many people are flying, some of them in neighboring countries, and many of them in Ituri.
Right. So, Akilimali, what is consistent, whether it's with areas of Codeco controls, M23 control, is the absence of the Congolese state, the inability of the state to exercise control over its territory, which leaves it to local groups who may have disputes, and they handle it, on their own. I don't think you can really overstate that point, the extent to which the Congolese state is absent.
So, to speak.
Yes, I was just speaking to the fact that the one of the key factors in understanding why there's such instability in the East, in addition to the local militias and the neighboring countries, is the absence of the Congolese state. Maybe you can speak to that a little bit.
Okay, about the absence of the state is that the Congolese army has some interest in some areas, some strategic areas, like towns, like some borders, some strategic borders, and also some strategic area, like where you have some minerals, some strategic minerals for the government. And they have, and for other areas, they are leaving it alone. And when they are leaving it alone, the world is in worry when there is no any authority. So there are some local authority which are building themselves, and also you have other actors, like some person which are looking for mines, some actors which are looking for mines, and they are using those groups to tell them, hey guys, I can give you some weapon if you give me some gram or kilogram of this quality or this quantity of mineral, like gold, diamond, and coltan. Here in Ituri, it's first of all the gold, and also because the problem is the enemy, for sure, because the enemy is not in those area, and the problem is the budget, because the enemy has not enough budget to deploy itself in some far areas, because you have the area like Beni and Ituri. You have some area where it's a jingo, it's a jango, like the reserve Rovocapi in Rovepulu in Ituri, and you have also the forest of Beni and near the Virunga Park in North Kivu. And in those areas, the government is putting army, but with not enough budget and enough logistic support to make sure that those soldiers will attend villages and villages, so they will only protecting some area near the road, probably a national road and whatever, but they will not go very, very far. They will not go very, very far. And another problem of the failure of the state is the presence of local authorities. I mean, there is no local authorities which has mandate of Kinshasa and of the government. So there are only people which can be strong by themselves and active in their community. So they say, yeah, from today I'm the chief, and they will be like that. And we have also other person which are nominated by those army group, like the M23 last time, say this one will be the chief of this area, and that one will be the chief of that area. And this is this is putting the conflict to be more strong and more dangerous for people, and more complex, because um, actors are so many. But I can say globally, this about the lack of the presence of the government and of the state in
Mhm.
those areas.
Yeah, and there's a, as the diplomats would say, a lack of a rule of law. Now, Akilimali, maybe you can just share with us, just give us some insight, because you go to those areas, where there is no security and these militia groups are displacing. Like, what kind of precautions do you take to make sure you're safe, when you go to cover the stories? Because I presume wearing a press badge is not enough.
Yes, not enough, but for some area, I have to ask the authorization of those rebellion. For example, when I'm visiting an area, and
Hmm.
to make sure that I have a local support of some group, and tell them that I'm a journalist. Because
Hmm.
coming there without the authorization, it's killing yourself. It's
A
killing
suicide.
yourself.
It's a suicide mission.
Yes, and
Mm.
also to get the support from some local actors, chief, like for example, chief of villages. I can say to the chief, "Hey, chief, I would like to go in your area.
Hmm.
Can you discuss with the group which is controlling the area?" And they say, "Ah, you are allowed to go there, but." For example, without the camera. This is happened from some
Mm.
area.
So they say you can go,
In
but you
the,
have to leave the camera.
yes, you have to leave the camera. You
Mm.
will only film, for example, with your phone, and or you will not film at all. You will only collect. And in some people, in some area, like in Ituri, when I were in Drodro, for example,
Mhm.
I discussed with a source which told me he don't even want to be recorded for audio only. I have to have a paper and a pen, and to
Mhm.
write what he will be telling me his testimony. This is the way we are always using to try to to cover. And I hope before the end of this year, I will share with you an incredible story of IDPs in Beni territory,
Mhm.
which were put out of the jungle, because
Mm.
they are living in the forest and it's their culture. And right now they are living in Oicha, and I met them.
Mhm.
I met them last time, and uh, they are they are telling that they are not happy with that life, with the life of being in the town, of staying in the same place, and
Mm.
with the culture of sedentarism, of going,
Which group is this? Is this
of
the
destroying also.
Mbuti or the Twa? Which group is this that's displaced in Beni? That
I met the Toa.
Twa
I met
Twa.
the Toa people. I met
Mhm.
the Toa people, and I hope probably at the end of next week, for sure, I will share with it, and I will make quite the operation to make sure he publish it. He
Okay.
publish it
Yeah, yeah.
for
Actually,
people
you
to
may just
know.
need to send it directly to Quad, so it gets out there. No, I mean we can't overstate the risk that you're taking, the dangerous environment that you're going in, and that's why we thank the people who support us on this platform, because they're supporting your work and getting those stories out to us, provided that we publish them, and we're going to publish them. We definitely will. It's just so much. But to tell us a little bit about Benny, though, because since 2014, the situation in Beni just hasn't improved at all. The Beni Lubero, with the Allied Democratic Forces. Give us a sense of what's happening there, and maybe even the role of Uganda, or just share with us. That's just like, whenever we've done several programs, even with folks from Beni, and over the last decade or so, and it's just so gut wrenching, because it's not just the displacement, but it's the manner in which people are killed. It's like it's really a terror. They're like trapped in a terror zone, in an acute terror zone, so to speak. So maybe just share with us a little bit about Beni, and the significance of Beni, and what's happening there.
Yes, and now it's 10th year. Right now, I'm covering
Yeah, 10
the
years.
issue of Beni,
Mm-hmm.
and this year I were in Beni, but I didn't want to film it because um, I were upset by filming demonstration in Beni.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but this year we celebrated, not celebrate, we commemorated the 10th year of
Mm-hmm.
the killings on
Mm-hmm.
um, on 10th of August, and uh, it's one of the unknown conflict. I don't know why media are not really interested on it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because it's a terrorism, but um, in 2012, a
Mm-hmm.
kind of a Ugandan rebellion which called ADF Nalu
Mm-hmm. That's
begin by killing people.
Allied Democratic Forces.
Yes, Allied
Mm-hmm.
Democratic Force begin
Mm-hmm.
by killing people in some villages,
Mm-hmm.
and people didn't know really what happened, and tried to solve the problem. And after 2 years, it means on 2014, the movement begins the mass killing. It means
Mm-hmm.
the killing of people, or of so many people in villages, like in a village of like 1,000 people, they come
Mm-hmm.
and they kill around 100.
Mm-hmm.
Around 100, it means 10% of the
The
population
population.
in the whole village. And
Mm-hmm.
they they are killing in the bad area, because in the bad way, because they are not killing them by weapon like others. They are using knife. They are
Mm-hmm.
cutting head. They are cutting head
And
and putting it
mm-hmm.
at kind of table, and in some public areas. In
Mm-hmm.
some public areas, they are putting piece of wood in
Mm-hmm.
genic in the sexual party of woman until they die. It means they are really killing really
Mm-hmm.
bad, and uh, they are they are using the terrorism. It means the
Mm-hmm.
idea is to terrorize people,
Right.
and after 1 year, it means on 2015, they declare they did a kind of statement that now that in that time they were member of the Islamic State, which
Mm-hmm.
is the Islamic State, and also they are member of Al Shabaab. Al Shabaab is a terrorist Islamic movement which is in Somalia, and the Islamic State it were in that time in Syria, and Iraq, and uh, in that area. So
Mm-hmm.
they say that they are also members. So for many local actors, I asked for this year, for this time, they are saying that um, that conflict is a problem of agriculture, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a problem of cacao, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And they are
Mm-hmm.
saying that it's a problem of agriculture because it's the only area which war didn't stop the agriculture activities. And when a Congolese people have its agricultural activity in the east, it's good. So they are trying to put more fear on people, because people didn't fear war, traditional war with some some local group, and they collaborate with them, and they still producing agriculture product for themselves and for other town around, even to send them to Uganda. And the second way is that in that period is when the cacao product, the cacao um, were in maturity, and in that time, uh, at the same time when they are in maturity, and at the same time is the beginning of killings, and so many people are lived their house, and they are changed. And you have to know that cacao, I think I recorded also something. I hope I will share it also as soon as possible, about the cacao, because you have to know that it's a kind of wood which produces the chocolate so many people are eating. It's a kind of wood and don't need a kind of assistant every time. So so many people are saying that many money from the ADF, for the ADF, are coming from cacao and from agriculture product when they are doing their fight against the local population. This
No,
is what I can say about the. You say
no.
about
Just go on,
the.
go on, go on. I've also heard that in around Lake Edward, I've heard people talk about so-called Lake Edward. I think the local name Rutanzinge, Lake Rutanzinge or Mutanzinge. Uh, the oil drilling that's taking place, that maybe that's also plays an issue, a role as well. I don't know if you've heard any talk about the oil in Lake Edward, or so-called Lake Edward, but Lake Rutanzinge.
The oil in Edward Lake is known, and the last time you should remember on the environmental areas that this year also were the year where the government decided to put around 26 block of petrol and gas on the market, including the what they call block Albertine 5, 6, 7, and 8, which are in the national park of Virunga, two of them, and also in the lake near, and in the lake Edward, near also the park. It means there is oil, there is petrol in that area, and people are tried to explore it, and this is also one of the conflict, and this is making that area to be worse again, because the petrol also it's one of the important resource in the world, and
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
economy.
It just brings to mind the quote that Quadra posted on our social media, on Instagram. Wangari Maathai, the Peace Laureate from Nobel Peace Laureate from Kenya, he said, when you see these conflicts and see these wars, almost always at the root of them is a scramble for resources. Thanks, Akilimali, for breaking down what's unfolding outside of Goma, the displacement camps around Goma, and going into Ituri, going into Beni, which people don't hear enough about. And I just appreciate the work that you do, and of course, I don't know, the courage and bravery for you to be even going into those spaces where it's just so dangerous. So really appreciate you bringing that to this audience so that they can have a fuller picture of what's unfolding in the east of the Congo. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about some of the incredible people that you've covered and documenting in the displacement camps in and around Goma. You've shared with us a number of pictures and videos, which we're going to get out. We're going to get them out, I guarantee. But just share with us to let folks know what are some of just the remarkable, just some of the highlights and the creativity and courage that you see that's among average Congolese who are coming to the side of their brothers and sisters who've been displaced.
Yes, exactly. First of all, I would like to localize how the help to IDPs people is organized formally and informally here in the east of DRC. I mean, the first one and the first help is coming from IDPs people themselves.
Mm.
This
Mm-hmm.
is the important thing to say, because even when we have a case of disease and whatever, NGOs and other people will come later, but
Mm.
themselves, they are helping themselves, and this is also the important thing of a kind of coalition like Basanja, which is giving knowledge to local people to help themselves. For sure, they are giving also some material, some support, some technical support, but the knowledge is one of the important thing, because a people in the IDP camp will have a problem, and this problem will be first of all solved by neighbor which are other IDP people.
Mm-hmm.
And the incredible story which will be published very soon is that they are doing a kind of amazing work, and this is my job as a journalist and as a Congolese, um, to put the camera in those areas where
Mm.
NGOs and other people are not putting the camera, and to highlight fact like that is there is some nurse, for
Mm-hmm.
example, some nurse and which were worked in their hospital in the villages, and right now are in the situation of IDPs. And
Mm-hmm.
right now they are using, like, for example, $20 or $50 they get, and they going downtown in Goma and they buy some medicine,
Mm-hmm.
not enough medicine, but some imported medicine, like to protect, like to give the opportunity, like with malaria, like with
Mm-hmm.
some disease, like um, malaria, the fever, and whatever, and they are buying some all those medicine, and they are coming with it in the IDPs camp in their small house, and they are writing, for example, pharmacy. They are writing, for
Mm-hmm.
example, pharmacy,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
people,
mm-hmm. Continue. Sorry,
yes,
continue.
yes, and people are coming, and they are really helping other people. They are really
Mm-hmm.
helping other people, and this is unknown. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how, and I don't know why. Probably because NGO has to sell the story that they are doing a strong work. For sure, NGO are doing something, but um, what they are doing is unimaginable and
Mm-hmm.
is incredible. This is the
Mm-hmm.
first example, and they are really helping, and they are really helping other people to be developed, to survive
Mm-hmm.
in that dangerous area. We have also a kind of I met a guy which opened, which buy a kind of screen,
Mm-hmm.
a television,
Mm-hmm.
and he's giving the opportunity because people in the IDPs camp are not studying. Children are not studying, and so many of them are exposed to many group and rebel group, and he's using a kind of generator, a local generator, a small generator, and he's showing some film to people in the IDP camp, and he's giving them he's giving them the opportunity to spend the day without doing some wrong things and others. I meet a group of women which analyze that when so many women are going in the forest near Goma, are raped there. The IDP, they are in the station of displacement. They are living in bad condition, but when they are looking for some wood, for example, for energy, which we call it here makala, and other stuff in the forest, they are raped there. And so for people to help themselves, they say that they organize a kind of a rotative pan, the rotative money, which they are collecting like $0.1. $0.1 per person, and they are 20. And when they have that, it can be around $2 or $3. They give it to someone, to some Rov woman, to one Rov woman, and they are giving her that money, and she have to organize something, a kind of local business. It's not a business. It's a kind of activity which will help her to don't go in again in the forest,
In the
and
forest,
to stay in the camp, like selling some fruit, selling some food, like selling soap, sugar, selling something which will be which people are really in need in the IDP camp, and which is people of the town which are going there to sell it. And this is one of the incredible idea I never meet, and it's not the idea from an NGO and from any kind. It's themselves, they organize themselves. I have images, you can be surprised on
Yeah,
how
no, no.
they are organized.
I've seen one of the images that you sent was just remarkable, where you shared with me this nurse. It's a male nurse who was displaced from his village, and he set up a pharmacy, basically a clinic in the displacement camp. Even so, he's using the skills that he was using when he was back in his village, but he's providing support, with a clinic and pharmacy for the local population. And the story with the women, and they call it susu from where I come, or partner, where you collect the money and pass it around, and each person gets their turn. So we're really looking forward to sharing those stories. I know Quadja is going to be so on me to make sure we load those stories up so we can get them out to people. So, and they're really important, because what they show, demonstrate, Akilimali, is that the Congolese people are not just sitting back and just being victims. They're exercising agency. They're being empowered, even in the most desperate of conditions. They're digging down deep to come out with just creative ways of surviving, right? So that's so critical. Michaela Fachar was asking, where do we follow Akilimali? You can see his name, Akilimali. You can just add Choma, Choma, to it, Akilimali Choma, and then the underscore after the A. You can follow him on Twitter. That's where you get most of the updates. And of course, we'll be getting more of his stuff out here on, not only on Instagram as well, because he sent us so much content, and we just haven't gotten all of it out. So just stay tuned here, and we'll be getting them out as well. And I don't know if Quadro is still on. He can share the link to your Instagram and your Twitter account so people can follow you on Twitter. But Akilimali Choma _ after the A, and you'll be able to follow him on Twitter. So thank you for that. Just those insights of the remarkable agency that's being exercised by Congolese, first and foremost, those who've been displaced themselves, coming to the side of their brothers and sisters in just horrendous conditions. We don't have a great deal of time left, Akilimali. Let's wrap up with two things, the Constitution and the attempt on the part of the folks in the Chesekedi camp to you still there? Yeah, to change the Constitution. What you're in Kinshasa right now, and you're what's the temperature? That's all people are talking about is the attempt on the part of the party in power to change the Constitution. What are folks saying in Kinshasa about that?
So here in Kinshasa, the temperature is a constitution. Is a constitution, and Congolese, there is a kind of resilience to speak about something which is going wrong. And like today, for example, I were in the taxi where I spent around for doing 3 kilometers. I spent around 4 hours in.
Wait a minute. So you slow down a little bit. You going in Kinshasa, you're going 3 kilometers, right? I don't know. That's what, like 1.5 or 2 miles, and you spend 4 hours.
Exactly.
So how do you explain this? I know.
Exactly, because the traffic jam, the traffic jam and road are not good. Road are not good. I don't know if I will have enough time to speak about it, but for sure, like Brother Percy will speak about it. Roads are in a bad area, and we are also in the rain period here in Kinshasa. And in this rain period, you have water. For example, this afternoon, I am sad to tell you that a pupil which were coming from his high school were killed by electricity cable. Today were killed by electricity cable because those electricity cable water attained around 2 meters. I'm saying 2 meters. It's like a swimming pool of water in a road, and a child which were in secondary school, which were coming from school to his home, died because the electricity cable reached that water, and he were electrocuted.
So 2 meters is around 6.5 feet. So
exactly. So you have a big traffic jam, which is incredible. And when I'm saying that in the taxis, they are saying that no, this traffic jam is a lot, and is big because we have this constitution. We have to change it. it means that it means that
so they're making fun of the politicians.
It's ironic. Right? Yes,
hope we didn't. Akilimali froze a bit. Hope we can come back. Even in Kinshasa, the internet. Well, I should say even in Kinshasa, the internet is difficult. So Akilimali is frozen a bit. Hopefully, we'll get him back. But as you can tell, he's just providing incredible insights. Really, even though he's a journalist, beyond the news, letting you know what's happening from the bottom up, what's happening locally. He's just been doing an incredible job in providing us with those kind of updates from all parts of the country. You know, he's obviously based in the east of the Congo. He's in Kinshasa right now, but he travels throughout the country, and you're hard pressed. I mean, we'd be hard pressed to find another person that has his or her pulse on what's happening in different parts of the Congo, as we do with Akilimali. And truth be told, in part because of your support, we're able to provide him with support as well as he travels around the country and he acquires equipment and engages people. You can certainly, those of you who have been contributing to our work can certainly take credit. This is a output. You've donated funds, and Akilimali, he's one journalist, but he's also connected to a collection of journalists who are, you know, working with him. And when he's able and well, he comes on and gives us updates like he's given us today, which is invaluable insight into what's happening in displacement camps, insight into what's happening outside of the displacement camps, and other areas of conflict in Ituri and Beni, which you hardly ever hear about. You really just hear about what's often, if you hear anything, hear about what's happening, you know, in Bulengo or Rosario or Kanyaruchina, or, you know, in the camps. But he takes you beyond, and of course, he's just providing us with some insight about what's going on in Kinshasa and how the local population is mocking the politicians who want to change the constitution. They basically saying, you want to change the constitution, but you're not changing our conditions. You know, we're being flooded out in the city. To go 2 miles, it takes us 4 hours. You know, you're not doing anything to basically address the material conditions of the people, their livelihood, their living standards. But you want to change the constitution, which we think ultimately is to keep yourself in power and continue to feast off of the state at the expense of the people. So that's something that we're going to watch and bring not only Akilimali but others on to talk about what's happening with the political class in the Congo, why there's an absence of the state, you know, in the east. You're back, Akilimali. Share with us, finish the story about the what the people are saying about the Constitution and the attempt to change the Constitution on the part of the politicians.
Yes, people are saying on the issue of the Constitution, people are saying that it's not the way to change the Constitution. It's Felix Tshisekedi, which is at the beginning of his second and the latest mandate, which is looking a new way, because what he can do a changement of the constitution. He can do some review on some article of our constitution, and this cannot. But we have some unreviewed constitution. It means you have some articles. Even if you review some article of the constitution, you have some article which are locked by the constitution itself, which is the number of the mandate, the number of the mandate, and the
number of terms, which is 5 years, 2 5-year terms. That's it.
Yes, 2 5 years exactly
for the presidency.
So exactly for the presidency. Is that why people are saying if you want any kind of change, he can change many things, but this constitution locked that area to make sure that even if a president can change a constitution and put something new, he will not change that. He will not change the form of the state. He will not also change the form of the vote. I mean, all those three things cannot be changed, and that's why he's now suggesting a new constitution. It means the change of the constitution, because this one cannot give him, even if he reviews some articles, cannot give him the possibility to have a third mandate because it's impossible. Joseph Kabila, the former president, tried it, and the population were against him. And right now, people are saying that the problem is really big. We have the M23 in the east. We have some problem here in Kinshasa with water, with electricity. We have some problem, like right now in this life. I lost I lost you because the place, the hotel where I'm staying, the electricity went, and everything were cut. So right now I'm using my mobile bundle. I don't know until when it will still online. It means that there is no access to essential services from the state. And before changing the constitution, the president should think about changing the situation, the social situation of population here in DRC in general. And he should finish with the war of the M23 and the insecurity in the east before suggesting the changement of the constitution.
Those should be the priorities. Those should be the priorities. And the people,
Exactly.
yeah, loud and clear. People are saying these are our priorities. These are our concerns. So, Akilimali, we're not going to burn out more of your energy there. Thank you so much. We're glad to see that you're in good health and up and moving again. Really glad to see that.
I
So
was
just
really sick for like a month.
yeah. Just so I'm glad to see you've recovered well, and
Yeah.
we need you healthy so you can continue to not only share with information with us on the outside, but your brothers and sisters on the inside as well. The work that you're doing is invaluable. The courage that you're demonstrating in carrying out that work is commendable, and we're just so glad that we have you on our team in providing us access to all the incredible stories that you're producing. And yes, Kwajo, we will get those stories out. We have tons of them, and we'll make sure we get them out. And he's got more coming for us. So thank you, Akilimali. Really appreciate you. Man, be safe on your travels, and we'll be in communication again with you. We'll have you on again before the year is out to continue in some of those other areas that we didn't discuss today. So thank you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate your work, and be well.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I should be happy to exchange next time about the Lobito corridor, which is, and
Yes.
I will be in that area, so I can get so many input, and we can discuss it because so many people here are saying, here in Kinshasa are saying that we have the road, we have this road for the train, and why should we use all those areas? And it's a kind of information. So from when I will be in the area, I will ask actors, and we will try to speak about it as it one of the latest activity of the President Biden before
Leaving office.
the end of his presidency.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be great to get a view from the bottom up. We've provided a view for those of you who caught us. We did a live on the Lobito corridor from the geopolitical point of view, but we'll be looking to connect with you, Akilimali, to hear the view from the bottom up, from the people in the corridor, from Kolwezi on out. So we look forward to that. We absolutely look forward to that. All right. Thank you. Thank you again, brother. Be well.
Thank you too. Asante sana.
Okay. Caribou.